America, land of the free, home of the brave, and let's face it, a bit obsessed with a two-party political system. It's like a constant tug of war between Democrats and Republicans, each pulling in opposite directions. But who are these political gladiators? What do they really stand for? Understanding the differences between Democrats and Republicans is crucial, folks. Your vote, much like your ice cream preference, has consequences. It shapes policies, impacts lives, and ultimately determines the direction of the country. This is about you, the voter, understanding what each party brings to the table. So buckle up, Buttercup, because we're about to break down this political dance-off. We're talking real talk, clear explanations, and maybe even a few laughs along the way. Let's rewind the clock, shall we? Back to a time when America was just finding its political footing. The year was 1792, and two parties emerged, the Federalists and the Democratic Republicans. The Federalists, led by Alexander Hamilton, were all about a strong central government. They championed a national bank, industrial growth, and closer ties with Great Britain. On the other side stood the Democratic Republicans, spearheaded by Thomas Jefferson. These folks were all about states' rights, limited government, and a focus on agriculture. Fast forward a few decades and the political landscape underwent a major makeover. The Federalist Party faded while the Democratic Republicans splintered into Democrats and Whigs. By the mid-19th century, the Whig Party crumbled, paving the way for the rise of the Republican Party. So we've established that Democrats and Republicans have been duking it out for centuries. But what are the fundamental beliefs that fuel this ongoing political rivalry? Let's break it down. Democrats, often symbolized by the donkey, generally lean towards a more liberal or progressive ideology. They believe in government action to address social and economic inequalities, often advocating for social welfare programs and environmental regulations. Republicans, represented by the elephant, typically embrace a more conservative outlook. They champion limited government intervention in the economy, emphasizing individual responsibility and free markets. These core beliefs translate into starkly different approaches to a wide range of issues from healthcare and education to gun control and immigration. Democrats generally support a larger role for government, while Republicans advocate for individual liberty and limited government intervention. Alright, let's talk about the economy, baby. It's the engine that drives the nation, and Democrats and Republicans have vastly different ideas about how to keep it humming. Democrats generally favor a mixed economy, where the government plays a role in regulating markets and providing a social safety net. They support policies like progressive taxation and government spending on social programs. Republicans, on the other hand, are all about free markets and limited government intervention. They believe that lower taxes and deregulation stimulate economic growth, creating jobs and opportunities for all. These differing economic philosophies impact a wide range of policy areas, from healthcare and education to infrastructure and environmental protection. Democrats generally support a more active role for government, while Republicans favor market-based solutions and individual responsibility. Section 5, to tax or not to tax differing views on government revenue and spending. Ah, taxes. The word alone is enough to send shivers down the spines of many Americans. But love them or hate them, taxes are the lifeblood of government, funding everything from roads and bridges to schools and national defense. Democrats generally believe in a progressive tax system where the wealthy pay a higher percentage of their income in taxes. They argue that this is fairer and helps to reduce income inequality. Republicans, on the other hand, generally prefer a flatter tax system, where everyone pays the same percentage of their income in taxes. They argue that this is fairer and encourages economic growth by leaving more money in the pockets of taxpayers. These differing views on taxes have a significant impact on government spending. Democrats generally support a larger role for government, while Republicans favor lower taxes and a smaller role for government. Section 6, Healthcare Hustle, navigating the complexities of affordable care. Healthcare. It's a fundamental human right, some say, yet it's a constant source of political wrangling in the United States. Democrats and Republicans have vastly different visions for how to provide affordable and accessible healthcare to all Americans. Democrats generally support a universal healthcare system where everyone has access to affordable, comprehensive coverage. They often point to other developed countries with universal healthcare systems as models for the United States. Republicans, on the other hand, generally favor a market-based approach to healthcare, where individuals are responsible for purchasing their own health insurance plans. They argue that this fosters competition and innovation in the healthcare industry, leading to lower costs and higher quality care. These differing approaches to healthcare have a significant impact on the lives of millions of Americans. Democrats argue that universal healthcare would ensure that everyone has access to affordable, quality care, while Republicans contend that a market-based system provides greater choice and flexibility. Section 7. Social issues and the parties, from gun control to climate change. Beyond the realm of economics and healthcare, Democrats and Republicans often find themselves on opposite sides of the spectrum when it comes to social issues. These are the hot-button topics that ignite passionate debates and shape the moral landscape of the nation. Gun control is a prime example. Democrats generally support stricter gun control measures, arguing that this is necessary to reduce gun violence and save lives. Republicans, on the other hand, tend to oppose stricter gun control measures, arguing that they infringe on the Second Amendment rights of law-abiding citizens. Climate change is another contentious issue. Democrats generally believe that climate change is real, human-caused, and an urgent threat that requires immediate action. Republicans, on the other hand, are more divided on the issue of climate change. They often argue that climate change policies would harm the economy and that technological innovation is the best solution. The shifting sands, modern trends, reshaping the political landscape. Hold on to your hats, folks, because the political landscape is constantly evolving. What was once considered a radical idea can become mainstream, and vice versa. Let's explore some of the modern trends shaking up the Democratic and Republican parties. Within the Democratic Party, there's a growing divide between the establishment wing and the progressive wing. The establishment Democrats emphasize pragmatism and incremental progress. Progressive Democrats are pushing for bolder, more transformative change. The Republican Party is also undergoing its own internal struggles. The rise of Donald Trump and Trumpism has exposed deep fissures within the party. This internal struggle is likely to continue to shape the Republican Party for years to come. The rise of the moderates, finding common ground in a divided arena. In this age of hyper-partisanship, it's easy to feel like Democrats and Republicans are living in two different universes. But fear not, for there's a glimmer of hope in the form of moderates. These are the folks who don't subscribe to the extreme views of either party and are willing to find common ground. Moderates often feel politically homeless, caught between two parties that don't fully represent their views. They value compromise and pragmatism over ideological purity. The rise of moderates is a sign that many Americans are fed up with the gridlock and dysfunction in Washington. They're a reminder that even in a deeply divided nation, there's still room for common ground and shared values. Your vote, your voice, making informed decisions in a two-party system. Now that we've delved into the nitty-gritty of Democrats and Republicans, it's time to talk about you, the voter. In a democratic society, your vote is your voice, your chance to shape the direction of the country. But with all the noise and misinformation out there, it can be tough to cut through the clutter and make informed decisions. So, how can you be a savvy voter in a two-party system? First and foremost, do your research. Take the time to understand the candidates' positions on the issues that matter most to you. Read their websites, watch their interviews, and attend their rallies or town halls. Second, don't be afraid to ask questions. If you're unsure about a candidate's stance on an issue, reach out to their campaign or attend a public event and ask them directly. Make your decision based on your own values, beliefs, and assessment of the candidates. Beyond the ballot box, civic engagement, and shaping the future. Voting is crucial, no doubt about it. But it's just one piece of the puzzle when it comes to shaping the future of our nation. True civic engagement goes beyond casting a ballot every few years. It's about staying informed, making your voice heard, and holding your elected officials accountable. So how can you be an active and engaged citizen? For starters, stay informed about the issues that matter to you. Read newspapers, listen to podcasts, follow reputable news sources on social media. Don't be afraid to contact your elected officials. Whether it's writing a letter, sending an email, or making a phone call, let your representatives know where you stand on the issues. Get involved in your community. Volunteer your time to organizations that align with your values. By staying informed, Making your voice heard and getting involved in your community, you can help shape a brighter future for our nation.